The Kingdom Come Deliverance playthrough took about 110 hours to get to the end of the main story. When it was done, I didn't want to leave the world that Warhorse had created, and fortunately for me, I didn't have to quite yet, as Warhorse had committed to releasing some story DLCs, the first of which was Brushes with Death. In addition, that will take you about 8 hours if you're taking your time, and brings you back to the Trotsky region before finishing in Kutenberg. Returning to the Trotsky region is really interesting. It's a place where I spent so much time, struggling with even the least threatening bandits, working on ways to get into the wedding, and of course, just learning how the game works in general. Now, when returning, you feel like your version of Henry is not just a lowly man-at-arms, but a genuine knight, ready to right the wrongs that were done to him when you first started the game out. By that I mean I may have gone back to that spot where you get ambushed at the beginning and bandits usually set up camp. You see, when I first started, this place was terrifying. Not just because you watched all of Henry's friends get massacred here, but also because if you so much as looked at the camp wrong, 5 or so bandits were on you and you were probably going to die. Now, in full plate armor, these bandits are little more than people temporarily holding whatever items you're about to loot off their dead bodies. I know this is morbid, but I needed this. I needed to work through that early game trauma. The story of the first DLC itself revolves around an extremely enigmatic artist who you first meet as he's tied to a tree in the forest beneath Trotsky Castle, while talking to a painted skull. The artist's name is Vojta, and he's found himself in this predicament by way of gambling. Once you free him, he tasks you with retrieving items that were stolen from him, though you find out later that these were most likely legitimately gambled away. As the DLC progresses, you learn more about him and his backstory, as he sends you out to collect supplies in order for him to finish a painting he's working on for the church. Along the way, you'll learn more about him and perhaps more pressingly, the skull that he carries around. I don't want to spoil it, but the backstory around the skull was very compelling, as was the resolution. It's a reminder that even in games like KCD2, where you can get lost in the sweeping landscapes and pulse-pounding action, the most compelling moments are the character moments, something that Warhorse has shown that they are extremely capable of delivering on. One of my favorite quests was the one that focused on family drama and the complex dynamics, not just within that family, but the Romani people faced with interacting with the people of the Trotsky region. Much like that quest, the information unfolds in a way that keeps you pushing forward, eager to discover what happened to cause Vojta carry around a painted skull and to talk to it. In helping him move past the trauma, you help him finally finish the most important piece of art work of his life. Overall, the DLC was okay. Nothing game-changing, but a nice little addition to the story with the added bonus of getting to have custom shields, which is of course very exciting if your playstyle sees you using them. Personally, I prefer the longsword, so it was a bit lost on me, but that's okay. This past week, they released their second major DLC, Legacy of the Forge. In addition, that will allow you to play 15 to 20 more hours, depending on what you want out of the game. For me, this is about as perfect of a DLC as could be released. With the main story and many side quests completed, I didn't really have much left to do with Henry. I could travel the region hoping for random encounters, but I had to admit that it was time to put down my sword until Legacy of the Forge. This edition solves a bit of an endgame problem. Once you get to the end of the story, you basically have enough money or access to gear to trade in for money that you can purchase whatever you like. Starting off with a flashback of Henry visiting Kutenberg with Martin and remembering that he once visited the forge that Martin worked in when he was young, you quickly enter an arrangement with the current owner, a widow, who knew your father back in the day and who offers you part ownership of the forge in return for you allowing her to stay. It's a fair trade, as she'll sell weapons and armor you forge for you while you're off doing the rest of the quests. The heart of the DLC lies in the broken clock of Kutenberg. Find out that your father had attempted to fix it back in the day, but was unsuccessful, due to issues mainly outside of his control. You decide to pick up the torch and fix it in his memory. Along the way, you'll get commissions from citizens of Kutenberg to create weapons for them, which will increase your forge's prestige and coin. You can use your earnings to upgrade your forge, customizing it to your liking, which will increase your prestige and bring in more customers as well as enhance your reputation. Along the way, you'll meet people who knew your father and accept apprentices who specialize in certain crucial areas to fixing the clock. It all works together really well, and I very much enjoyed my time getting better at forging weapons and feeling like I was working toward an end goal. Not just the clock, but making my forge the best it could be. There are also a few side quests to get into that will keep you busy. After completing the main quest, overall, I thought this was a wonderful endgame addition. I also think that it will be even better on a replay, being able to tackle the quests at your leisure and providing you with a true home base that feels like your own and isn't just a random room you're renting at an inn. Also, it's very funny to play this after you beat the game because in-game, Henry's been in Gutenberg for weeks, and he finally notices the forge and remembers he's seen it before. I think that will be incorporated much smoother when it's all accessible on one playthrough. So to conclude, Brushes with Death was fine, but not game-changing, but Legacy of the Forge was amazing and well worth your time and money. Combined, I think that a future complete edition, probably discounted to regular price around the holidays or whenever the third DLC comes out, will be a great deal. Right now, you can get all 3 DLCs and a season pass for $29.99, though I did see the season pass on sale for $22.99 this week. Or if you're only interested in Legacy of the Forge, it's currently $13.99. Well worth the price, in my opinion. So, have you played Legacy of the Forge? If so, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. We got videos coming out every single week, much like this. And check out our older videos, as well as our other channels, including Those Fake Nerds, Better Radio, which is our podcasting channel, Wicked Sports, and all the others on the umbrella. You can find the links in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.